Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 1201.
Initiatives create breakthroughs. Breakthroughs discover innovations, and innovations benefit mankind.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Greene is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, automotive enthusiasts. I'm revved up and so excited to introduce today's very special guest, Dr. Srikanth Pilla. Srikanth, are you buckled up and ready for a fun ride?
Absolutely. Can't wait to speed up myself.
There you go. Dr. Srikanth Pilla is the Robert Patrick Jenkins Endowed Professor and Dean's Faculty Fellow of Automotive Engineering at Clemson University. He is also the founding director of Clemson Composites Center and director of the Automotive Engineering Certificate Program. Dr. Pilla also holds a joint appointment in the Department of Material Sciences and Engineering and Mechanical Engineering at Clemson. His research interests are in the fundamental and applications of sustainable and lightweight functional materials and manufacturing. His aim is to create a cross-cutting paradigm at the interface of polymer chemistry, polymer physics, energy resources, material engineering, manufacturing, science, and computational theories. We are in for a treasure today. He has co-authored over 100 widely cited peer-reviewed archival publications. He edited the world's leading handbook on bioplastics and biocomposites and 4 SAE-Progress in Technology series books, and he is the recipient of numerous awards in the industry. So, Srikanth, I've told our listeners just a little bit about you. Would you take a brief moment, share a little bit more about your career and a very obvious passion for the automobile industry?
Thanks, Mark, for such a nice introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm a faculty in the Automotive Engineering department. That sounds pretty strange. And the reason I say that is because I actually did not start as an automotive enthusiast. You'll hear more about me. I started as a very different guy. And for me, a car was a transportation medium to go from point A to point B. That's kind of how the vision I had and the thought process I had. But ever since I started at Clemson, the kind of programs that I've been through, the kind of knowledge and understanding and everything that I have gained over the past 5 years here, and the new project that I'm leading completely changed my perspective. And today, I'm here basically to advocate for automotive field and automotive engineering, both from education as well as a research standpoint.
Well, I'm very excited because you're going to be a very different kind of show today than, say, a traditional show here at Cars Yeah. We're going to go in depth a bit on what's happening in the automotive industry, what you're doing there, because things are changing so rapidly in the automotive industry these days. It's absolutely incredible. So I'm very excited to have you on board. But first, as we continue on your journey, I always like to ask my guests for a success quote or a mantra. This is some kind of saying that's instrumental in forming your life and your success, citing you maybe some direction. It's a nice way to get the inspirational tires turning here on Cars Yeah. So, Srikanth, take the wheel.
My success mantra, again, I kind of formulated a 4-phrase haiku, if I can say that, is
yes.
Opportunities leads to initiatives. Initiatives create breakthroughs. Breakthroughs discover innovations, and innovations benefit mankind. That's kind of the philosophy I've been following, and you can see throughout my whole conversation, that's the mantra I hit, and I believe, and I envision for all the activities that I do.
Well, it's perfect for what you do and perfect for the automotive industry these days. I mean, all the steps and processes, and a lot of us take cars for granted. We just get in them, they start. Cars these days don't seem to ever break down. They're so wonderful. They're so steadfast, but the industry's really changing. Is there a main thing in the industry that you're seeing that's revolutionizing the automotive industry in a really, really fast way these days?
Today, I think the whole industry is looking for few things, but if we put together that whole thing, right, which is what our next Deep Orange project also heavily emphasizes on, is how we can make transportation more affordable, but at the same time make it more environmentally conscious. So that's kind of the philosophy everyone is looking for. So if you're talking about electric cars or lightweight cars, low emission cars, what's the need for all of these? Making sure that the transportation medium is environmentally conscious, so we don't damage the environment, but we conserve that, and then but still provide the means of transportation for the public. So that's kind of the overarching theme the entire transportation industry is looking for today.
You touched on something earlier. I always ask my guests to share a story that instigated their passion for cars and automobiles. Now, you got into your career, illustrative career of teaching, of learning, of investigating, of discovering. And you said it yourself, you kind of evolved into a car guy through this career that you're doing now. Talk about that a little bit and why it inspired you so much.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting story because I myself sometimes wake up suddenly in the middle of the night. I was like, what am I doing and how come I'm here? And I see that that is something which I never thought about. So I came to this country about 18 years ago, and I did my master's from Ohio, and then I started working for a consumer product company. I was actually working for S.C. Johnson, and that's a family company which makes all this consumer products. Yes. And then I did my PhD in Wisconsin. Again, my topic of research over there was making some advanced materials for applications because we focus more on fundamental science, not really on applications. But the applications we were looking for the development of the science was mainly packaging, those kind of rigid packaging, those kind of applications. Even till then, no introduction of any automotive in my life. And then I went to do my postdoc at Stanford in California. And over there, I was looking for application of the same advanced materials, but in construction applications. So more for temporary housing or interior housing, those kind of things. So again, still no trace of automotive. And after that, I went back to Wisconsin to work as a research scientist. And that is when I was actually working on biomedical applications like tissue engineering scaffolds.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's completely, again, from an engineering, mechanical engineering, and all my degrees have been in mechanical engineering per se. From a mechanical engineering background, advanced materials research, construction applications, consumer product experience, and biomedical research experience. There was this opportunity that opened up at Clemson Automotive Engineering Department, which said, we're looking for an advanced materials guy and advanced manufacturing guy who can actually bridge these two and then provide solutions for the automotive. And then I said to myself, I can bridge these two, but I don't know if I'll be able to provide solutions, but let me apply. I applied, I was interviewed, and I was offered the position. Before I took it up, I asked my previous department chair, are you sure you want to hire me because I don't have any automotive background?
Yeah.
And his response was, Srikanth, in my career, I had probably 30 to 35 professors. I know what I'm doing. That's it.
Trust me. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. That's what he said. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. I know what you can achieve. And then I just looked back myself and I said, okay, let me revisit the whole story again for you. Okay. I did my master's in Ohio and Michigan, Toledo area, Toledo, Detroit region.
A lot of cars built there. Yeah.
Yes. So let me connect back. So, and then I did my postdoc in California, right, in Stanford, California.
A lot of design.
And then I started working as a faculty in Clemson, South Carolina. So if you connect to these three dots, right, now the same story, but at a big picture level, Detroit is a historical automotive hub. California is an emerging electric automotive hub, right?
Yep.
And then South Carolina is an emerging, or I don't know, the new automotive hub, mainly focused on manufacturing, automotive manufacturing, like BMW and all these things. So
yeah, perfect.
On the back side, maybe I did not notice it, but I was actually going through the journey of automotive world.
Wow. This is an awesome story. I mean, as you were unfolding this, I'm just seeing the light at the end of the tunnel get brighter and brighter. And I'm like, that must have been a very interesting revolution for you when you talked to that gentleman, your future boss, and you went, you know what? I think I have been on the right track.
Exactly. I didn't notice. And then he saw in me something which I believed okay, maybe I myself did not see. So when I started reading my own user manual, right, and I said, Yes, maybe it's there in me all the time. It's just that it took probably 10 to 12 years for me to realize that I am the automotive guy.
You are a car guy after all. Wow, that is a really cool story. Well, let's talk a little bit about challenges, because no doubt as you ventured into this area of your career, you were probably met with a few challenges or two. I'm kind of guessing. I think in what somebody does like you, there's a challenge every day, but that's part of the enjoyment. So maybe walk us through one of those situations, challenge or failure, something that kind of really pushed you to a limit there, and tell us what you learned from that and how it helped you move forward.
Sure. Again, listening to my story, you can very well say my research has been completely different and my application domain has been different. So when I took up this challenge of getting into the automotive research arena, I said, okay, let me implement what I have started doing, which is basically all the bio-based materials research that I have done for so many different applications, whether it's packaging, biomedical, or construction and everything. When I started implementing that about five and a half years ago, automotive field was not ready. I got into a big issue over there because I have done so much research in that arena, but the application domain is not ready. And then I still remember that day where I offered a PhD position for one student, and he asked me, what's the project? And I said, it's focused on bio-based composites. And he's like, Dr. Pilla, I don't see a future for that. So I'm sorry, I cannot accept it. I just sat for myself, and for almost about 2-3 days, I just couldn't talk to anyone. I was talking to myself. Where did I land up? Domain is not ready. The students are not ready. And what am I doing? That's when I said, right? I mean, because you are in a big hole where there's nothing to even catch and come out. Then I decided, okay, let me again start reading my user manual. And I said, I'm a mechanical engineer. And I'm focused on composite science, which is what I have learned, right? The science, not the material per se, but the science behind it. The science that I have learned, why can't I apply it to other different materials, which the automotive world is looking for?
Okay.
So one guy greatly said, don't look for opportunities, but create opportunities.
Yes,
so
brilliant.
So I created my own opportunity there, and I started digging into automotive lightweighting, composites, carbon fiber composites. That has been the key buzzword back then. And I started applying for all the research grants, and students came on board. It was a great success. Then I said, now let me go back to my passion of making sustainable materials for automotive industry. But once you're successful in particular domain, then people start to listen. And today I can proudly say I have graduated about 3 students focused on biocomposite. 3 PhD students have graduated from my group in a short span of 5 years, focused on bio-based composites for automotive applications.
What a great story. That's pretty incredible and very exciting. On cutting edge territory there too, which is even more exciting. So much of what we're seeing these days. I always ask my guests about a big aha moment in their career. That you just shared a big aha right there. Just going, okay, after a 3-day conversation with yourself, I think I see finally the path I need to go down. I love the idea of having a 3-day conversation with yourself. That's fantastic. Is there a big aha moment in your career you'd like to share?
The biggest aha moment in my career has been, if you stitch back all these different anecdotes that I have shared, the state of South Carolina, actually, there is a governor's award that has been given to multiple different categories. And one of the categories is the Young Scientist for Excellence in Research. Here is a guy who never worked in automotive, but then he took over the domain and then has his own challenges in meeting the new material systems and everything for that particular domain. But then they recognized me with a Young Scientist for Excellence in Scientific Research focused on sustainable and lightweight materials for the automotive industry. That's earlier this year in 2018. And I was like, wow, look at 5 years ago where I was and look at here where I am. And the kind of transitions I had and the kind of challenges I had. So that's kind of what is a proud moment. But I confidently say that the aha moment is not of me. It's actually of my students who helped me to reach that particular position.
Even better. Very nicely said. Well, I always ask my guests about their first special car. Now, the fact that you've evolved into being a car guy in essence. But if you go back in time, did you have a car that had some great meaning to you, or were cars just not part of your life?
You know what? As I said, for me, car was a medium to transport me from point A to point B. But then I'll tell you one thing. When I came to this country several years ago, one of the movies that I watched was Italian Job. In that, I fell in love with Mini Cooper back then.
Yeah.
Of course, all these years I have not been able to afford the Mini Cooper, so I didn't buy it. So I've been I've been just buying other traditional, more reliable, the Hondas and Toyotas and stuff. What a best moment can it be? Just 2 days back, I bought my first Mini Cooper.
No kidding. Oh, well, very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So that's my first really special car that I've been dreaming for a long, long time. And 2 days back, I got it.
Wow. Well, very cool. Well, we've had too many Coopers in our family, and they're just the funnest little cars. They put a smile on your face. It's like the Volkswagen Bug. Yeah. And I think you'll find even if you get involved with the Mini Cooper clubs and so forth, you're going to find a group of enthusiasts like you've never seen before, because it's just such a fun, lovely little car. I've spent a lot of time in those cars. I used to drive my daughter back and forth to college in Southern California, which is about a 3,000 mile round trip in those cars. Very comfortable cars. So very excited for you. What color is your Mini Cooper?
You can guess the color. I'm a sustainability guy. So it's a green.
Green. Yeah. I was going to say, sounds like a green one to me. So they have such great colors, great options. Well, good for you. That's very cool. Well, I would love for you to share a little bit more. Now, you mentioned it earlier in our talk, the university's Deep Orange program. ExxonMobil has challenged a group of you there at Clemson University in the graduate automotive engineering students to go beyond what the car of tomorrow will look like. I'd love for you to share a little bit more about this Deep Orange project. And I'm going to make sure I put a link to this project on the doctor's show notes page here at Cars Yeah, so you can go and check it out. So tell us about Deep Orange.
Deep Orange is a very interesting program, and we are perhaps the only university in North America that actually has such kind of opportunity for students to learn about vehicle systems integration. We felt like teaching students vehicle systems integration is a great idea, but then how about doing that through a project-based learning approach, rather than making them sit and do some theory and simulation virtually on computers? How about making them build a vehicle, and while doing that, they learn about the entire vehicle systems integration? So this concept was originated about 10 years ago by my former colleague, who is now an employee of Tesla, Dr. Paul Van Hovens. And then, and once he graduated from Clemson, I should say, basically he's a professor. He was a professor, and then went to Tesla. The kind of evolution that we had within the department is to each individual professor step in to lead this program. And the students, over the 2-year period, they design and they build a concept vehicle from ground up. Of course, our students are not designers. So we always work with a design school to get the vehicle exterior and interior, those kind of designs taken care of. But our students are engineers. So they completely champion the engineering aspect of the vehicle. So there's always this battle between the design school students and our engineering school students.
Oh yeah, just like real life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we tend to give them that experience. And also the students, a group of around 25 to 30, 35, depending upon how many show interest and how many are actually suitable for the program, they're selected, and they're all divided into multiple different subsystems, whether it's an interior, powertrain, vehicle electronics, body in white, and those kind of different subsystems. And each subsystem will have its own team leader. And then for the whole project, there'll be one project leader. Again, we're talking about students, project leader, and then assistant project leader, and there'll be a management team. So in addition to just teaching the students about what the vehicle is, how to engineer the vehicle, how to make the vehicle, design and build the vehicle, we also teach students about leadership. So that is something very rare, right? You don't get an opportunity to learn leadership in your school. Leadership, oftentimes people think it is an inherent quality. I absolutely agree on that. But at the same time, if you can hone their skills before even they get onto the real world, because in real world, you are part of a team. And we also tell students to be part of the teams and how to lead the team. And we say leadership is not a position. It's actually a responsibility. And how do they take that responsibility to lead this wonderful project? So that's kind of what the overall program is. And we are in the 11th edition of it. The project that I'm leading, the Deep Orange 11, which I'll be the faculty mentor for that, is basically sustainable by design concept. We will have a functionally designed reconfigurable vehicle enabling system sustainability. Overall, every subsystem that we focus upon, we will have a circular economy concept enabled in it, in a sense that whatever you put into the vehicle, once the vehicle is out of its service life, we will ensure that none of it goes to landfill. It will come back to the use case in other forms. Maybe it doesn't have to go necessarily in the automotive sector, but it can go into something else. But once the vehicle is out of its service life, we will ensure that the design phase, manufacturing, everything is done in a way that it doesn't go into the landfill, but it's brought back into the use case for multiple other applications. So the focus is heavily on the circular economy concept, but still we will also have lightweight and durable structures, an ultra-efficient powertrain system, and also a lot of reconfigurable interior design. And we put in 3 different service cases for that, or service models, what we call care, share, and deliver. What does that mean? That means once the user buys this vehicle, he can actually reconfigure the vehicle by himself at the user level to meet any of these 3 service models. Maximization of utilization is the new mantra that we are putting in. So if your vehicle is wants to go on a ride sharing, yes, you can actually configure the interior for that. And then let's say if you want to transport someone with a wheelchair, or maybe let's say there's a patient on an emergency situation, you can reconfigure the interior accordingly for care services. And let's say if you want to use this vehicle on a weekend to basically move your apartment from point A to point B, you can even do that. Or if you want to deliver some kind of big box things, let's say if this vehicle is owned by a company who wants to deliver packages, they can still do that. So care, share, and deliver are the 3 service models we are implementing in this. And the 4 subsystem innovations we are looking for is in powertrain, interior, body in white or chassis, and autonomy. Because zero congestion, zero emission, and then zero collision, and those kind of things are the new taglines coming up. I mean, these 3 are not my words. These 3 came from GM, General Motors, that has recently announced their future vision based on these 3 buzzwords. And making a car drive by itself, autonomous, by implementing autonomous technologies in it, will ensure zero congestion and at the same time, zero collisions, hopefully. Those are all the different subsystem innovations that we are implementing in this vehicle. And ExxonMobil, which is the prime sponsor of this, they came to Clemson and they said, we would like to build a sustainable by design concept vehicle, enabling a lot of different aspects of what we talked about just now. So they were so happy with the kind of concept that we proposed in terms of the innovation, service models, and everything. And they said we would like to be the prime sponsor of it. Again, it's an interesting fact. If you look at the entire Deep Orange history, this is the very first time that we have a non-automotive OEM as a prime sponsor. Starting from Deep Orange 1 till Deep Orange 10, it always has been automotive OEMs like Honda, Ford, BMW, Toyota, Mazda, Mini Cooper. These are the kind of automotive OEMs who have been the prime sponsors. And for the first time, ExxonMobil Chemicals, which is a materials company per se, wanted to invest in this concept to educate and generate a workforce that has the sustainability concept in their education and become the leaders in automotive sector.
Wow. You've taken us on a very interesting glimpse into the future here. I'm excited. I want to go back to college. This sounds like fun. I never thought I'd say that.
Yeah, let me tell you this. When I was being interviewed for Clemson, I was the previous chair who hired me. I told him that because he showed me around, right, during the interview process, and he showed me the Deep Orange. And I told him, if you don't hire me as a faculty, I'm going to come back to study at iCar.
Yeah, I'm going to be a student.
Yeah.
I'll get another PhD. Wow, this is exciting. I really appreciate you sharing that. It's absolutely fascinating. I know the listeners are going to find it incredibly fascinating because the automotive industry, as I said at the beginning, is expanding and growing and changing so quick. And I find it very interesting, too, that ExxonMobil is a key sponsor here as well. So thank you for sharing all that. Here's a very introspective question for you. If you woke up tomorrow and you were a car, you were manifested into a car parked in the garage, what would you be and why?
If I were a car, the first question that I would always ask is, again, people sit in me, people ride with me, people spend a good amount of their busy life in me, right? Yep. So for me, the first question is, how can I support and help people by still being environmentally conscious? That's the question I would have for them. It's not always about, again, making sure you use bio-based materials or renewable materials, sustainable materials. That's not the paradigm always. It could be a lot of different things. Even if you maintain in a clean way, instead of you riding all by yourself, if you can actually pull few people together and reduce the traffic and reduce the emissions, that is still being environmentally conscious. If I'm a car, am I a socially relevant car or an environmentally conscious car? That's the question I would ask.
Very nice. That is one of the most unique answers I've gotten. So I appreciate that. Up next is the last lap before we put the pedal to the metal, or maybe not the pedal to the metal. Maybe we're a little more environmentally conscious and we don't press the pedal so hard. Let's say thank you to today's Cars Yeah sponsors. Everyone who knows me knows I'm really picky when it comes to my cars and keeping them looking new. I'm a huge fan of Covercraft floor mats. I've protected my vehicle with their products for decades. Want to keep your vehicle's interior looking new? It's easy with Covercraft floor mats. They will protect your vehicle's factory carpets from daily abuse, weather, pets, children, weekend adventures, and those everyday spills. It's a fast, easy, and stylish way to keep your vehicle looking new. Covercraft floor mats come in a wide variety of styles, materials, and configurations, all designed for maximum protection. In addition to Premier Plush and Berber custom floor mats, you'll also find cargo liners, canine cargo area liners, dash covers, and sunscreens. Enhance your vehicle's looks while protecting the factory finishes with easy-to-install and easy-to-clean floor mats. Covercraft is the right choice. Learn more today at covercraft.com and tell them Mark at Cars Yeah sent you. That's covercraft.com. Are you looking for a way to get your products or services into the ears of thousands of automotive enthusiasts around the globe? I can help. This is Mark Greene here at Cars Yeah, and I'd be honored to be an influencer and ambassador for your brand in a unique and personal way. 5 days a week, thousands of subscribers and listeners enjoy the Cars Yeah podcast and website. Contact me today and I'll show you how at mark@carsyeah.com or connect with me through the Cars Yeah website at carsyeah.com. Hey, Mark Greene here from the Cars Yeah podcast. Did you know you can now see me on the Cars Yeah TV show? That's right. Cars Yeah is now on MAV TV. I visit some of the past Cars Yeah guests and take you along for the ride. Go to mavtv.com to learn more where you can enjoy Cars Yeah TV. MAV TV is also available on DirecTV, Fubo TV, Fios by Verizon, or you can stream it through mavtv.com online. And they said I only had a face for podcasting. All right, Srikanth, we are back and we're entering the last lap. I'm going to fire off a series of questions and ask you to give our listeners some very quick blips of the throttle answers. Looking into the future, perhaps, of the automotive industry, what's the best automotive advice you've ever received?
Don't look for opportunities, but create opportunities.
Lovely. Wonderful. Would you share one of your personal habits you believe has contributed to your many successes over the years?
Detailing. Basically, that has been my success mantra all through. Any problem that I face, any challenge that I face, I tend to go to the detailed analysis of it. And I try to go as much detail as I can to dig the solution for that.
Now, how about a resource? There are wonderful resources these days. Is there one in particular you'd like to share?
Yeah, I often read, again, SAE, Automotive Engineering magazine. And of course, there are several other magazines, but that is some resource which I felt like always has some of the latest and most up-to-date advanced information regarding automotive.
Absolutely. SAE, great resource. Now, if I could wave a magic wand and arrange for you to sit down and have a drink with anyone in the automotive industry, who would that be?
Tata, Ratan Tata.
Okay.
From the Tata Motors.
Yeah, that would be very interesting for sure.
Trust me, I met with him, but I haven't had a drink with him.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I can arrange that. We'll see if we can set that up for you. How about a book now? Is there a book you've read that you think our listeners would enjoy reading that has to do perhaps with business or the automotive industry?
Well, there is one automotive design guideline book, which I read. I don't believe, again, it's my apologies that I don't remember the author name, but I've got so much involved myself into the content that I completely forgot. But that's the one which I would highly recommend because it tells you the basic principles. Again, a person like me who never had an automotive experience, I wanted to get into the skin and learn about the design guidelines and principles and everything. So when I read that, I kind of got a high-level knowledge on the whole thing.
Well, listeners, you can find links to all these great resources that Dr. Pilla has shared on his Cars Yeah show notes page. Just go to carsyeah.com, type in Srikanth. I'm going to spell his first name for you, Srikanth, Pilla, Pilla, and his page will pop right up. All right, Srikanth, now I know you've got your new Cooper there, your Mini Cooper, so you're kind of set in the car world, but today I'm going to buy you a very cool collector car. Maybe this is something unique, different, maybe it's old, maybe it's new. It doesn't matter because I'm going to buy it for you, so don't worry about the cost. But there's a couple rules to this game. One is you can't sell it to buy a bunch of other toys with or a couple other Mini Coopers. I want you to drive it. I want you to enjoy it. No garage queens, as we call them here. And it's the only cool toy car, collector car you can have in your garage. So what can I buy you today?
Porsche.
A Porsche. Oh, well, you're after my heart. That's my favorite brand. Is there a specific Porsche that you'd like to have? There's a lot of options out there.
Yeah, they do. I'm still learning but I'm so much intrigued by their designs. I mean, that's been always my this thing. Why I'm so attracted to them, to that brand itself, is the kind of unique designs they have.
Yeah, absolutely. So, would you like the 2-door sports car, the 911, or do you like the 4-door, or do you like the SUVs? I'm kind of guessing you're not an SUV guy.
No. I like actually the coupe, the 2-door.
There you go. Okay, Porsche 911. Yeah. I will get on that. I love Porsches. They're my car of choice, as my listeners know. So I'm going to have a lot of fun finding you a beautiful green Porsche. They make some wonderful green colors too, by the way. So I'll make sure I get it the right color for you. Srikanth, you have taken me on a very interesting ride today. I've really enjoyed learning more about you and Deep Orange and all the very cool things that you and your students are doing for our future in the car world. I want to thank you for sharing your journey. Is there maybe one little parting piece of wisdom or guidance you might offer us before you drive off into the sunset in your Porsche 911?
The only piece of word of advice that I would like to give to all the automotive enthusiasts over there, if you really want to get some knowledge, education in automotive field, consider Clemson University, International Center for Automotive Research. We are the graduate-only department. We just have masters and PhDs. And just to tell you the fact, we are the first graduate department focused on automotive engineering in this country. We graduated the country's first PhD in automotive. We graduated the country's first female PhD in automotive. So our master's students, 97% of them are placed in the automotive sector, whether it's on the OEM level or in the supplier level. So if you're really an enthusiast of the automotive or automobiles, an automobile enthusiast, and would like to acquire a knowledge and background and education for that, we do offer certificate programs, masters, and PhDs. So consider Clemson for any of your educational needs.
Absolutely. And what's the best way for people to connect with Clemson University? Is it their website?
Yep. You can actually go to CUICAR, which actually stands for Clemson University International Center for Automotive Research, CUICAR.com.
Awesome. Well, listeners, again, you can find links to everything that Srikanth has shared today on his Cars Yeah show notes page. Just go to carsyeah.com, type in Srikanth. Again, that's Srikanth, Pilla, Pilla. Dr. Pilla's page will pop right up. A shout out to Tara Romanella. She's the communications strategist at Clemson University. She connected us here today. Thank you, Tara. And Srikanth, thank you for being so generous today with your time, your expertise, for enlightening us on the future of cars. I'm very fired up and excited. Until you and I talk again, I'll see you down the road.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You take care of your cars, but who takes care of your investments? Tune-ups aren't just for engines. Updating your financial plan is important too. Your GPS may take you from A to B, but it won't help you on the road to financial freedom. For that, you need a good co-pilot and a very trusted advisor. Chris Kimball, CFP, is just the man for the job. He'll guide you down that road without driving you crazy. For over 25 years, Chris has helped people just like you and me with their financial planning and investments. With a master's degree in financial services, he is eminently qualified, and he's a car guy too. Learn more at chrisvkimball.com or call 866-ON-A-PLAN. Securities through Money Concepts Capital Corp., member FINRA SIPC. CK Financial Services is not affiliated with Money Concepts Capital Corp.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.